Hello everyone. So the agenda of today's session is to understand what is content editable attribute, and we are going to learn more about how it works, how to use it in HTML, and then we are going to build a basic text editor to understand the applications of this attribute. So that's what we are going to cover in this session. So the entire agenda will be divided into three parts. First is we are going to understand content editable property. Then there is a command in JavaScript called as exec command, which is useful for building text editors. So we are going to understand that as well. And then finally, we are going to build text editor using content editor attribute. So let's begin with our session. Now, the first thing which we need to understand is what is content editable attribute basically. So for that, I have a code pen ready here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add a div, like a basic div here. Within that, we can have a p tag, and on the paragraph tag some random text using lorem5 and hitting tab. This will add text with 5 words in our web page. Now the next thing which I want to do is, let's say I want to make this text editable for the user, like I want to allow the user to edit this words or make any kind of changes. So how do I do that? For doing or allowing the user to have editing functionality available in the browser, we make use of an attribute which is called as content editable. This is a CSS attribute whose value can be set to true or false. Once you set this to true, the div in which or the content within the div becomes editable, and as you can see, now the content can be edited by the user as and how the user feels like. So this is basically what content editable property is used for. Like if you want to make any kind of content within our web page editable by the user, we can set this content editable property to true, and all the elements within that tag will get editable. Now what we mean by editable is, if we inspect this editable property, like let's say this is a p tag here. Now if a user adds a enter key and adds a new text here, then this will automatically add a p tag within the lorem text. This is added automatically by the browser because the editable property of our div is set to true. So by default, some HTML elements are added into this div so that user can edit or add some text. Okay. Now the difference between this and text area needs to be understood, and for that we need to understand how we can make this editable property a little bit better. Now if you go to W3 schools, this is what you get basically. So this is the official W3 schools page for content editable attribute. So it specifies whether the content is editable or not. Now if you go to the official example of uh, W3 schools, you will find this similar kind of example, and here also you can edit the text. Okay. Now the next thing which we need to understand is how do we make this editor a bit more rich or add some features to it. Now typically when we talk of any kind of text editor, we usually have functionalities to make the text bold, italic, or change the color and stuff like that, right? So what we can do is we can bring all this functionality within this editable attribute, and for that we are going to make some changes to our code. Now the first change which we need to do is, obviously we need some way to manipulate this text and allow it to be made bold or italic. Now for that we need to understand another command which is called as exec command. Now what exec command does is it allows us to modify the text within an editable section. What I mean by editable section is a section in which the content editable property is true, some section like that. Or let's say if you have the design mode of a particular web page on, even that becomes an editable section. Now if you go to the W3 schools official docs, and this is the example. Now the example shows that if we press shift button, then the document.exec command will turn the selected text to bold. What I mean by that is, if I select some text and I press shift, then the text turns to bold. Now this happens like internally and quite easily, because document.exec command allows us to make change or change this text to bold. Similarly, if I change this to italic and if I run this text again, and now if I select text and press shift, then the text becomes italic in nature. So this is a document.exec command usage. That is, we can modify the properties of text directly by using this command. So let's try to inculcate that within our CodePen. Now for that, the first thing which we need to do is obviously we need a bold and italic buttons. Before that, let's give this editor some border. So I'm going to give this a div a class which is, let's say, editor, and in the CSS portion we can have this editor class access using dot property. Then we can set some border to it. Let's say we set the border to 1px solid and I don't know, gray color. So we have a proper color like this. Light gray would be good enough. Now we have text like this. Then we can add some padding as well. So let's add a padding of 5px and save the changes. Now once I have a basic editor made, I can add some buttons at the top. Now for buttons, we are going to use Font Awesome library. So Font Awesome is a icon library which we can use to add different kind of icons. From that, the one which I'm going to use is bold icon. So yeah, this B icon basically, so that a user will be able to click on this bold icon and make the text bold. That's it. So for adding Font Awesome, what we need to do is we need to go into the settings section here and click on CSS. Here in the below we can search for Font Awesome directly. So if we search for Font Awesome, we get a result like this. So by this, Font Awesome library gets included in our CodePen internally. Next thing which we can do is we can have a div here, which let's say has a class of editor buttons. So this will contain all the buttons. Within that we can have a attribute and we can set the href link to hash. Basically href allows us to have a cursor position as uh, cursor, basically cursor changes to this hand icon. Now before we proceed further, we need to understand another attribute which is called as data attribute. So data attribute is used in HTML to add custom properties. For example, we can have a data attribute to store custom data or private data in our page or application. So we are going to use a data attribute like this. So this is an example for W3 schools. So I can have a data animal type as bird, owl, or salmon. And similarly, on click of this species, I can have a custom alert like this. So this bird that you see here is from this data animal, which is bird. Or in case of salmon, as you can see, we have a attribute which is fish. So this is taken from this data animal type and then shown in JavaScript. Similarly, what we are going to do in our code is we are going to add a data attribute called data dash command, within which we are going to specify what kind of command this is. For example, this if this command is for bold text, we can have a data attribute which is, let's say, data command, and that finishes the ahref. Within that, we need to add our icon. So we are going to use it will be italic type. Within that, we are going to use Font Awesome links. So for bold, we have fa dash bold. Now as you can see, we have a bold text here. I would like this text or this a icon to be black, so I'm going to set the color of a attribute to a link to black. Then we can have some border for this as well, so that it looks like a clickable element or clickable icon. So let's give it a border of 1px solid black as well. Some padding of 5px would be good enough. Now I think this is crossing over to my editor. So what we can do is we can take the editor buttons class and add some margin as well. So in this editor buttons class, let's add some margin at top and bottom. For that we can specify 10px and 0px. 0px for left and right and 10px for top and bottom. Now we have our button ready. Now on click of this button, we need to make this text as bold. So how do we do that? For that we need to make use of JavaScript. Now the first attribute which we are going to use is uh, document.query selector. So document.query selector is used to select particular elements from our page. it returns the first element which is present in our page. For example, if I specify a attribute and if I log my link here, let me just show you using console.log, and let's just check what link contains. So if we go to the console section, we will get output like this. So this is the link which we have. So this is from our link section. So we have selected our a attribute. Now what we need to do next is we need to add a click listener. So let's just add a click listener here like this. So when we add click listener for click, we can execute some command on click of that element. So what we are going to do is we are going to add a click listener for our link, which is link dot add event listener. Within that, we are going to specify that on click of this element, we need to execute some code, which will come within this function. So this is just like what we have syntax present in our W3 schools click listener. So a click element and a function within which we can run some code. For now, let's just have a basic log, like let's just cut and paste this here, and we can have a link element clicked as a log. Now if I click clear the console here, okay, I think we have some issue. Yeah, the spelling is wrong. Listener, yes, now it should be clear. Now if I click on my button, hopefully this link element click will get printed, and as you can see we have a log here. So our click listener is working fine. Next, what we can do is we can get the value of our data command attribute. So for that we have get attribute command. Let me just show you. So with using this dot get attribute, we can get the value which is present in our custom data attributes. In our case, if we write this dot get attribute, within that we are going to specify this data command key pair. So this will extract our value. So let's store it in a variable. Let's say const command is equal to the command, and again log the value just to be sure. And on click of this element, okay, let me just save. We have a text printed here which is bold, which is the value of our data command. Next we are going to use our exec command. So on exec command we are going to send the command value here so that the command gets executed. So let's copy this document.exec command. So exec command is used to execute a specific command for selected part of head level section. Now if we go here and add this, instead of bold, let's just add this command here and hit save. Now once I hit save, and if I select some text and click on this B button, as you can see the text becomes bold. Similarly, what we can do next is we can have a italic button here as well. So for that, let's just copy this ahref attribute here and paste it again. This time the data command will be italic and the font size icon will be italic as well. Now once I have an italic attribute, I would like some space between these two attributes. So let's add a margin between elements of 5px as well, and top and bottom can be set to 0, just a left and right margin, and we have some spacing between them. Okay. Now the next thing which we need to do is, I think we don't need to do anything else. If we select some text and if I click on this I button, okay, now this won't execute because document.querySelector always returns the first element which is present in our code. So in this case, this link will always point to my first bold element, and which is why the second I tag is not working. So to fix that, what we can do is we can use document.querySelector all. So all is to get all the links which are present in our code. Now if I log this value here using console.log, if we go to the console, Let me just clear all this stuff and it's save. So in this case, okay, let's just change this to links. Now as you can see, we have this links present here, which is array of the href elements. So what we can do is we can iterate over all these elements. So let's change this to links, and we can use for each loop. So links dot for each, then for each element we will have a link attribute here, and then we can add the code which is present in our element listener. What this will do is it will add the click listener to both of these elements, that is first element and second element as well. So if I clear out the console, and now if I click on, okay, it is telling me link is not defined on line number 3. Okay, right, because we have renamed this to links. Now if I clear this, we have our links printed here. If I make or try to make any kind of text italic now, as you can see it works. So, and the command which got executed was italic. If I click on B and click this, the bold command will get executed, and I can execute both commands simultaneously, like bold and italic, on a particular text as well. So this is basically how you can create all sort of other commands as well. For example, bold, italic, then text in, and then you can have h2 h3 elements, set the color as well. So all these are possible using document.exec command. Now in today's session, my agenda was to just give you a brief idea of what content editable means and how to we create a basic editor. So that is covered. So what we had in our agenda, like a basic text editor. Now if you want to build a full-fledged text editor, we have a article from Tut Plus which covers in detail how we can make this editor completely. So this is an article written by Monty Shokin, and I think there is a code pen present somewhere. So this is the final code pen by the guy who wrote that article. I took some of the code from there as well. So as you can see, we have all kinds of options here as well. So you can build an editor like this. Now that is not basically what I would like to spend much time on, but yeah, you can create a full-fledged editor as well. I will share the link in the description. Another thing is content editable is used in a lot of libraries for building text editors. One of them is Draft.js by Facebook. So this is a kind of a full-fledged text editor library which uses content editable internally. And yeah, as you can see, we have a proper editor like this using Draft.js. So what I would suggest is instead of going for a custom editor, you can use this library directly. It uses content editable but has some wrapper which allows you to make all sorts of changes like this, and there is a great documentation here. So this was yeah, this is the guy who made this library, and in this talk only he mentions about content editable. You can read about it, listen to it. So you can use this library using React or any kind of editors that you want. Okay. So that's it from my end. I hope you were able to understand what content editable property is, how we make use of it to make editors, and how it is used in various libraries for making a rich text editor. Okay, that's it for today's session. I hope you liked the session. If you found this session useful, please like the video, subscribe to my channel because it motivates me to create more such content on my channel and help you all. So that's it from my end. Goodbye and have a nice day.